Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to end the video. This is another paid request this time for Curtis. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. And this is for a film that came out in 2000 called What Lies Beneath. It's directed by Robert Zemeckis, who did Back to the Future, Romancing the Stone, and it stars Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford, two actors who I think are rather good. You also have Joe Morton in the film, who was in Speed and Terminator 2 as Miles Dyson in that one. James Remar is in it for a little brief role. He was Ajax in Walter Hill's The Warriors. He was the bad guy in 48 Hours. I think his character was Ajax in The Warriors, but I'm bad with names. This is one of those scenes where I don't know if I could say this film's awful. I've never been a fan, really, of this movie, though. I've never been that big of a fan. I could say that there is some good-looking shots. I do like the two leads, because Michelle Pfeiffer definitely brings that sympathetic quality to her character. Harrison Ford, by the end, at least he's playing a bit of a different character, change of pace. The deal with this film is Robert Zemeckis was doing Castaway with Tom Hanks, which I rather enjoy. I really do like Castaway. But then they had to take a break so that Tom Hanks could grow a beard out and lose weight to shoot the second half of that film. So during that break, Robert Zemeckis had a chance to direct this movie. I think this movie came out in the summer, and then Castaway came out later that year. And I would say Castaway I liked a lot more than this one. Although what's funny is both those movies have trailers that give away the entire damn movie. If you watch the trailer to Castaway, or if you watch the trailer to What Lies Beneath, they literally give the whole movie away. Now, Castaway, I don't like that they did that, but I didn't because I like that film more and because I could do it. Here, there's a bit more of a mystery angle, so the fact they did that is very perplexing. Maybe someone had a big grudge against Robert Zemeckis. And that's the part, I don't know, Tia's car or something. Tia's car, fucked his dog. Tia's dog, fucked his car, whatever the hell they were going to do to Robert Zemeckis next. And for some reason, this film cost $90 to $100 million. When you watch the film, you're going, why in the flying FF, for flying fucks, did this cost $90 to $100 million? I can only imagine Harrison Ford maybe got 20. Maybe the director got 20. Maybe Michelle Pfeiffer got 20. Or 15 or 10. So that's 50 or 60 million. Even if it was 50 million, let's say it was 90 million, that's another 40 million to do the rest of it. Jesus, like you look at this movie like this cost 90, $100 million. Holy shit. Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford are a couple. Harrison Ford is a professor. And it's not his daughter. It's Michelle Pfeiffer's daughter is going to college, and she's sad about that. And then they start hearing stuff about the neighbors. And one of the neighbors is James Remar and his wife. Now, how do I go in this with? Well, I mean, again, if you watch the trailer, you'd be spoiled the whole damn time. I just don't go in this with spoilers. This is the best way I could do it. I apologize. Spoilers starting now. For such a long time, they go into this red herring side plot and subplot where the neighbors are fighting, and at one point they're having sex, and Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, You think we could take them? We think we could beat them? You have their own game. But then Michelle finds out that the wife is sad, and then she disappeared, and then she's thinking the wife's dead, and she's seeing these weird supernatural events, and she thinks it's the wife of the neighbor is dead. It goes as such a red herring for like half the movie until you finally find out, nope, James Remar and the wife, the wife is alive. James Remar didn't kill his wife. And it is such going so long, so far into that by the time it gets back to what's actually going on, you just feel like too much time has been wasted, and you think if that entire thing was taken out, I think it would make the film better. And concentrate more on Michelle Pfeiffer and her psychology and what's going on in her head, and is this all in her head, and this is supernatural, and they try to do a little bit of that, but that could have been delved into more, and maybe develop Harrison Ford's character a bit more, and it's just this whole fucking waste of time with this shit that just be one long red herring. Did you tell Robert Zemeckis was trying to do an Alfred Hitchcock type of movie? I mean, fuck, Harrison Ford's character's name is Norman, for crying out loud. And there's certain shots that are trying to go a Hitchcock type of way, only with a bit of supernatural. So there's certain things that pop up that you could tell is in there to be super obvious. For example, she goes into this place and there's literally people saying out loud for the audience to hear, I have a drug. Oh, this is a drug where you can't move, but you know what's going on. Oh, does it work on all mammals? Yes, it does work on all mammals. Well, how long does it last? Well, it lasts about 5 minutes. I wonder if this drug that renders someone paralyzed for 5 minutes, but it works on everybody, including all mammals, humans, I wonder if this will come into play later on. Humpa-think. Look at me. Look at what you see. I see predictable, but it's hard to say predictable because if you watch the trailer, give away the entire fucking movie. But yeah, I would say yeah, that was a bit predictable. And like I said, Michelle Pfeiffer is doing the best she can. You feel sorry for the character and her stress, and wonder if she's going out of her mind or not. Whether doing the seance with a friend or talking with a psychiatrist played by Joe Morton. But then also these little things keep happening, like this ghost on the computer writing MEF, MEF. And I'm sitting there going, you know what, if you didn't work a computer, open up a fucking program, just type your whole goddamn name. If I should have learned that from Ghost with Patrick Swayze when he was typing up the shit. Sam. Should have learned from him. Don't type your fucking initials. Or did a piece of fucking paper write, this is my name, bitch. Fuck the initial shit. Why you just writing initials? Again, why you can write on a goddamn mirror going, you know. If you type on a computer, just write your whole fucking name on there. Why you gotta play these fucking games? Fucking quizzes. What does MEF stands for? I don't know. A mere echelon fucker? I don't know what it stands for. But then she finds out what MEF does stand for. As this other woman who disappeared a good long while ago. By the way, I said this is spoilers. If you're predicting that Harrison Ford has something to do with it, you get a cookie. Because, yeah. I mean, maybe they wanted to curtail that because, well, Harrison Ford, he plays a good guy. It's Han Solo, it's Indiana Jones, it's regarding Henry. Can't be Mr. Ford. But let's be honest, a good part of why this got made is because the previous year, The Sixth Sense came out. That was a supernatural film. Gonzo box office. Someone looked at that. I'm sure that's why the actors looked at, wow, Bruce Willis? Bruce Willis was in this movie? Look how much fucking money it made? Oh shit. Let's do What Lies Beneath. And it did make a good chunk of money. Which is funny, it's one of those films that made a lot of money and yet no one talks about it. You never hear anyone bring up this movie. And again, I'm not going to say it's the worst movie ever. When I said there were some good looking shots, for example, there's a bit where Michelle Pfeiffer gets a key, but they realize that she's in the wrong vehicle because the key doesn't work. Like she grabbed the wrong keys. The other vehicle that the keys work are behind her. So when she opens up the door, we're in the side view mirror. So when the door opens, the side view mirror comes into place and we see someone stand up in the house. And like the story is told by this interesting camera angle that the side view mirror is able to catch what Michelle Pfeiffer is not seeing. So again, there's some good looking shots like that. Now, the two things people don't remember the most are this. The seduction scene and the bathtub scene. The seduction scene got parodied in Scary Movie 2. She started to suspect something. Who? Your wife. You have that bit there. Well, Michelle Pfeiffer pretty much gets possessed by the ghost. Although if the ghost was wanting to kill Harrison Ford, she definitely took her sweet ass time to do it. And then the other bit is the bathtub, which I will admit, the bathtub scene is the scene with the most potential of suspense. Where Harrison Ford has drugged her and she's in this bathtub. He's going to try to make it look like a suicide, so he's filling up the water. So Michelle Pfeiffer can't move as his water getting higher and higher and higher. Something happens where Harrison Ford gets knocked out. And then, will she make it in time? Can she get the plug off the tub? Is she able to move long enough and well enough to get the water calmed down so it will start going down, she can breathe? Again, of any scenes in the film, that is the scene that has the most potential of suspense and is decently achieved. Decently achieved. But, like I said, this is another movie that's like well over 2 hours long. And again, because this fucking subplot with James Remar that really goes nowhere, because as soon as that comes up, other than one scene where the wife is talking to Michelle, nothing comes of it. Like, those neighbors completely fucking disappear. I mean, you know what could have happened is that the guy who she thought the guy who she thought was this horrible person was a killer, actually helps in saving her. Or does something where you don't have to kill him all, but he does something, he helps her, but he gets knocked out, but he gave her some, the guy that she suspected as being a killer is ironically the guy who helps her, helps her out a bit in some way. Or at the very end, when what happens, he's the guy that pulls her out of the water. And again, that certain bit of irony that, again, the guy she trusted, Harrison Ford, is the guy who's the killer, and the guy who she mistrusted the most, James Remar, is actually the guy who helps her out at the end. I think that could have been pretty... At least that would have made the whole build-up lead to something more to the finale. But again, the neighbors pretty much disappear after that. And I just thought on the top of my head, that would have been cool. Like, James Remar helps her out, and oh, wow, how ironic. The guy who you thought was the murderer helps you. The guy who you thought you could trust the most, Harrison Ford. And at least it was cool to see Harrison Ford play a bit different. But, it's so far along into it that he doesn't get a whole lot of time to play around with that. and have fun with the role. Does not mean to see Harrison Ford be a bad guy. Like I said, but other than this bit with the bathtub bit, I guess there's not a whole lot. It would have been cool to see Harrison Ford really relish being evil and doing certain things, but maybe they thought that'd be too over the top, or too campy, or too silly, or too this and that. But it would have been nice to see Harrison Ford have a bit, psychotic type of moments, or rantings, or raves, or something, but not too much. I know some people complain about that there's a supernatural angle at all. I mean, yeah, you could have had it where it was all in her head, and it was all in her head because she saw what happened, but then she got in this car accident and she can't remember. But in a way, this is her brain trying to deal with her. Like, how did she remember? Well, her brain's working in supposedly supernatural, but it's her brain making her remember who that person was, what her name was, that this is what her husband did. That could have been perhaps more interesting. I mean, really, Robert Zemeckis, this isn't really his usual forte. Because, I mean, Back to the Future, Used Cars, then Castaway, Forrest Gump. The thriller, horror aspect, again, it's not something he's done a whole lot. So, he's no Wes Craven, he's no John Carpenter when it comes to that. But again, there are some decent looking Hitchcock type shots, like I said before. But a lot of it's kind of like cheap jump scares where someone turns, and as soon as they turn back, boom, there's something there. Even like Harrison Ford with Michelle Pfeiffer, her head goes by, you can't see her face. When she comes back, there's the dead lady's face, and then freaks Harrison Ford. A lot of those type of shots, seem a bit cheap. So I don't think the film was scary or suspenseful. I think the only bit was that bathtub scene I thought was remotely suspenseful. So yeah, I mean, the two lead actors, enjoying them as actors helps. I think Michelle Pfeiffer does the best she can. I think the movie, like I said, I would call it predictable, but if you're someone who never had seen the trailer and blah blah blah, I'm thinking even if I had seen the trailer, I would have thought this was predictable. And I say it's not really a fave of mine. Like when I look at Robert Zemeckis movies. Like I said, I know some people don't like Forrest Gump. I do like that one. Like I said, I quite enjoyed Castaway a lot more. Even Ghost Stories, I would put The Sixth Sense above this. Stir of Echoes, I would put way above this. Because I really enjoy Stir of Echoes. And, again, I know there are fans of the film. It's just, to me, I'm like I said, if you tighten up the pace, ease up on that whole first half, red herring simple that goes nowhere, or if you want to keep it, shorten it down, tighten it, and have it come back up in the third act in some way. Certain things here or there, maybe a bit more clever and steers, creativity. Maybe I will like the film more. Maybe that's just me. I know someone had the idea that could have been interesting. I forget who it was. Someone had an idea of what if Harrison Ford didn't kill the person? What if you find out it was Michelle Pfeiffer? And it's that she found out that her husband was cheating, but then she went so crazy that she killed the lady, dumped the body, then got in the car and didn't remember, and you're led to believe Harrison Ford's the killer, but then it's Michelle Pfeiffer. And so you have a crazy Michelle Pfeiffer go up against Harrison Ford. Kind of like a fatal tragedy with a bit of supernatural. Maybe that could have been more interesting. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, It is what it is. I don't know what else to say. The score, I honestly don't remember the music. I don't even know if it was bad. I don't remember the score. Cinematography, not too bad. Good looking location that they shot it in. Looked slick enough to go into theaters as it did. Yeah, again, I think the two lead actors helped propel the film. Yeah, a lot of people like the film, so go check it out. It just wasn't never been my cup of tea. Yeah, this confirmed it. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.